Well, John, I'll get the precursory questions out of the way. Big game on the weekend. What's the health and fitness of the squad? Is anybody out? Is anybody coming back in?
No one out from the weekend. We're looking at seeing if Ben Garuccio will be involved for this game. We've got a busy period, so we're still a little bit unsure. He's had a good week of training, so he's back, he's fit. But obviously we've got quite a few games coming up, so we don't want to push him too early. So we'll give it the next couple of days and see what we do on that side. But everyone else is fit and ready to go.
How do you handle the situation of Ben coming back? Because obviously he's your captain, but especially in the past few weeks, Charbel's been going pretty well as well. How do you handle that?
Look, at the moment, we will play who we believe is going to help us win the game. If that's Charbel, if that's Ben Garuccio. Look, Ben Garuccio is our captain, and we know how good he is and how good he will be for us this season. But we have to make sure that we keep him back on the pitch and keep him back on the park for as long as possible. So we're comfortable with the way that Shah's has been going. He's been doing really well. Both him and Tate Russell seem like they're improving each game. So that's good competition for places as well.
Because I've been flying up the table at the moment. You've put together 3 wins in your last 5, and you've been doing it as we all expected at the start of the season with a very young squad. How do you handle how do you handle the squad at the moment? Because obviously a lot of young players, they're flying. They just went to Auckland and knocked off the league leaders. Do you try to keep their feet on the ground in this situation, or do you just encourage them and just say, you're young, go out there and enjoy it, you're playing well, and not try to, rein them in?
Yeah, not really rein them in. You'll see if they are getting a little bit carried away with the way they train, but they've been training really well. They've got confidence at the moment, and you can really sense that, and you want to make the most out of that. But the most important thing is still playing our game. We went to Auckland and still try to play our game. We know that Auckland were a good team, or are a good team, had been getting great results, especially over there, but the focus was more on us. And it's the same with Brisbane. The focus is on our game against Brisbane, because we know they got good players, they can actually hurt you. But if we play our game, we're confident we'll get the result here. And so that's the main focus. And then with the amount of games coming up, the younger players, they do seem to recover better and quicker than some of the older players. So I'm sure they'll find this period okay, and we'll get through it with no problem.
Hey, Johnny, I know you just said that you're focusing on your own game, but obviously, Brisbane 1-year-old teams. What are you made of how they're going? And you obviously know the issues with that club. What have you made of their poor start to the season?
Look, there have been some games that they probably felt that they could have got more out of it, or they've been close in certain games. You can start to see that there's a little bit of nervousness that's set in with them, but they've got good players, some really good experienced players, and that that they can hurt you with those players. So we just have to make sure that we play to our strengths and make sure that we don't give those experienced good players on the ball time on the ball, and try and make sure that we close them down as quick as possible. And then with the ball, if we can shift the ball quickly, we're confident that we can create chances. But look, they haven't won, yes, we know that, but they're a team that can easily give you a lot of problems if you're not on.
You sort of just touched on it a bit. You're going from you've beaten two teams in games where maybe you weren't expected to win, and they're going into a game where everyone thinks that you're going to win. How do you sort of balance that out with the team and sort of keeping them not becoming sort of, I guess, complacent, but making sure that they sort of keep their sort of mind on the job?
Yeah, look, every game's different, Marco. That no matter who you're playing, whether it's a team that you're not expected to win, they'll give you certain issues, and then the team that are not doing that well on the table, they'll give you different issues, and they'll play a different way. So our focus isn't on that we're expected to win. Our focus is on us performing well, and I've said it from the start of the season. I just want good performances, because normally those performances were turned into wins, and now they are starting to turn into what we deserve. We beat Perth about a month and a bit ago. That was our first win, and we were expected to win that one because Perth were doing so poorly, and the boys handled that well. And then, obviously the Sydney and the Auckland one, no one was expecting us to do as well as we did, but we had that belief that we could. So we'll go with the same belief, but also know that it's not going to be an easy game.
Hey, John. Just on your sort of goal-scoring form, first time in your club's history you scored 4 goals in back-to-back games. More than half of your goals have come in this season, have come in the last 2 games. But what do you make of that, and what do you think's changed in the last 2 games?
I think just confidence of scoring goals. We created this many chances against Macarthur here, against Perth Glory in the Unite round. Probably against Adelaide we created just as many as we did the other day. Also against the Wanderers. It's just now the belief is there that we can put those chances away. The actual football's been the same. The football has been no different. We're playing the same. We're playing well. Creating the same amount of chances because we have a look at how many times we're getting into the opposition box in good areas, and it's virtually exactly the same. It's just the confidence from everyone really. That's not just the strikers that are scoring. We've got players coming in off the bench that are scoring. We've got our wingers scoring goals, so it looks like we can score from different areas, and that makes it hard for the opposition. If they want to stop Ibasuki, we've got Noel Botic. If they want to stop Noel Botic, we've got Abel. If Abel's not scoring, then it might be Denzaki or Reece Bozanowski or Angus Thurgate. So all of them have scored goals, and that gives everyone confidence that we're not just relying on one player.
Is it even more satisfying when you look at, I think last week there was 7 academy graduates involved in that win against Auckland?
Yeah, of course. As a club, it's huge for us. It's taken time, but we knew that it would take time to get players and our club to this level because our academy is not that old. So, but the players have really made another massive step so far this season. We saw it towards the end of last season. And the likes of Bozanowski and Botic have been involved now in the first team for a long period. So we're starting to see, it's all come together. But there's been a lot of hard work and a lot of work going on for a number of years now to get these players to a level, and they're really stepping up and making the most of it. But hopefully they keep going and growing in confidence as the season goes.
It's on Botic and Ibasuki as a former striker. What do you make of those two up front? They have to be, if not one of the best strike pairing at the moment. 12 goal contributions between them. What do you sort of make of their form? Yeah,
it's been good form. I still think they're going to get better. I still think they haven't hit the levels yet. And I think Noel Botic will probably... He's doing really well, but I know that he'll hit even greater heights towards the back end of the season because he didn't have a pre-season with the team. He was out for 6 months without playing any football. So, he'll get stronger as the season goes. Him and Hero will get a better understanding as the season goes. So I expect more and more from them as the season goes on. And then, the players around them also make it easier for them because we get the ball to them as quick as possible. Angus Thurgate and Reece Bozanowski the last few weeks have really looked to play forward as quick as possible. And when you do that, then they're able to get on the ball in good areas a lot of the time. And then, you have your wingers that are supporting them.
John, coming into this Brisbane game, yourselves in Brisbane, you've had only Perth Glory has less average possession per game than you throughout this season. You had less of the ball against Auckland and Sydney, and you were able to punish those two sides when you had your moments. Coming into this game, I guess someone's got to have the ball, and as the home side in good form, it's probably going to be you. How do you adjust your approach from the last fortnight's games to maybe a more ball-dominant performance this coming weekend?
Look, we against Perth Glory, when we won 3-1, we had the majority of the ball that game, and we dealt with it well. The way that we've set up is we can be just as effective without the ball as we are with the ball. If we need to keep hold of the ball and try and break a team down, we believe we can with the players we have. And then if a team wants to press us, we can quickly play through lines and get down the other end pretty quickly. The likes of Auckland and Sydney FC playing at home, you expect them to press you more often than not, and we're able to outplay that. And so we're comfortable whatever game Brisbane are going to bring us, whether they want us to have the ball more or not. But we know we have to be just as good with as we are without the ball to create chances and also make that they don't get as many chances as we would like them to get.
Just last one from me, mate. You talk about Brisbane, they've got good players, but you've been around the game for a long time. At this point of the season, it's been Brisbane have had 8 games, they haven't won yet. Is there a sense, would there be a sense in the Western dressing room that your boys, they don't want to be the first team to lose to Brisbane this season? Do those thoughts come into players' heads at this point of the campaign?
I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't mentioned it, or I don't know what's in the players' minds. All that is in our minds is, we're focusing on winning this game, whether it's Brisbane, whether we're playing Perth or Sydney or Auckland, and that's the mindset that we've had the whole time. Is that we haven't thought about so much who we're up against. We know their strengths and weaknesses, but we don't think about their past results. And that showed against Auckland. We didn't think about, we're going to a place that is impossible to win. We're going to a place that we believe that if we play at our best, we can win. So it'll be the same here against Brisbane.
Johnny, how do you rate young Thomas Waddingham? There's some people saying that, there's some talk that he might be going overseas soon. Do you think he needs to stay here for a bit longer?
Oh, look, Mark, everyone's a little bit different. I'm not sure whether the right time or not. Depends on where he goes overseas. I like him. I think he's done really well so far as a striker for Brisbane. He scores goals. He gets himself in good positions, and he's playing regular football, so that helps. Whether he stays for another year to get more game time and then goes, that's of course up to him and Brisbane. But it's been good to see so many good young strikers coming through the league this season, and we've lacked it in the past. So hopefully these players end up going on to another level in the near future.